Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Mary Beth Enslin, and I'm honored to be with you here tonight. Tonight's topic, it's perfect timing as we step into our fall routines. So whether you're watching this live or catching us on the replay, we know you'll walk away with some practical tips. It's my pleasure to introduce you to our presenters. Kate Carpio is a national board certified health and wellness coach, and Chris Combest, a professional health and wellness coach. Both are also certified Optavia coaches who are both passionate about helping people create sustainable, healthy lifestyles. So, Kate, I am going to toss it over to you.
Fabulous. Thanks so much, Beth. Hi, everyone. I am Kate, and I'm really excited that you've chosen to spend this time with us tonight. So whether you're here live with us or you're catching it on the replay, this is your time, and I encourage you just to soak it all in.
Hi, and I'm Chris. I love sessions like this because they're practical, encouraging, and give you that little nudge to reset as we head into fall.
Exactly. Fall, it's such a transition season. We go from the freedom of summer, right? Later nights, travel, some looser routines, and we go straight into these packed schedules. They're shorter days, and for most of us, a whole lot more structure. And that little shift can really throw our health habits off without us sometimes even realizing it.
Yeah, and here's the thing, the small choices we make in the fall matter. They don't just affect September and October, they set the tone for how we feel November, December, and even how we start the new year.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, right? So here's a quick question that we're going to ask for some feedback. When you think about fall, what's the first word that comes to mind? Is it cozy or busy, pumpkin spice, right? I mean, you know,
Leaves,
sometimes
that's a good one.
yeah, sometimes I think of football, right? Cooler weather, great. Sweaters on your birthday. Happy birthday, Colleen. Heather wrote stews. That's fabulous. Good.
Perfect. All right, that's perfect because tonight just isn't about guilt or perfection. It's about awareness and giving you simple, doable ways to stay active and energized this fall. No extremes, no gyms required, just strategies that work in real life.
So let's talk honestly about why staying active in the fall can feel harder. Chris is going to share 3 different challenges that affect so many of us.
Right. Challenge number one, less daylight. When it gets dark early, motivation dips. I know it affects my entire mood. A walk that felt great at 7 in July suddenly feels impossible when it's pitch black at 5 o'clock.
So I've done that. I told myself I'm going to take a walk after dinner, and then I never did because it just, didn't feel safe or realistic. And that's when I realized, like, geez, I really just have to adjust my plan for the season instead of feeling guilty.
Challenge number two is busy schedules. School, sports, end of the year deadlines, our calendars explode, and movement's the first thing to get cut.
So years ago, I lived that I'll catch up tomorrow cycle. And it wasn't just about movement. I tell myself, I'll eat healthier tomorrow. I'll exercise tomorrow. I'll slow down and enjoy life tomorrow. But here's the thing, tomorrow always looked the same: busy, overscheduled, draining. And before I knew it, weeks and sometimes months, they'd go by and I realized that I really hadn't taken care of myself. Can anyone relate to that? I mean, if have you ever told yourself that tomorrow is the day that you'll do things? The truth is, I learned that tomorrow isn't the problem. It, my mindset was. And I thought that big changes needed big chunks of time because doesn't that make logical sense to most of us, right? But what I really needed was small actions that fit into the day that I actually had. And once I shifted from tomorrow to just one thing today, that's when consistency clicked. And that's what we're hoping that we can help you with tonight.
Yeah, that's a great way to explain that. All right. Challenge number 3 is comfort mode. Fall foods, football weekends, cozy nights. If we're not careful, the season turns into hibernation. Suddenly it's chili, pumpkin bread, and Netflix. And before we know it, movement is an afterthought.
Right? And I'll be honest, this was a big one for me. I used to see fall as a permission to kind of like cozy up, grab some comfort food, slow down. I mean, I remember when we used to watch college football on Saturdays with a pizza, right? And there's nothing wrong with comfort, but too much really left me sluggish, low energy, and honestly, a little stuck. So here's the good news. When you name the challenge, you can work around it. So less daylight, move your walk to lunchtime, or even step outside for 10 minutes between calls. If it's a busy schedule, can you stack movement into what you're already doing, like stretch while dinner's in the oven or walk during your kids' practice? And if it's comfort food, maybe you can pair them with a walk after dinner. It'll help digestion and it helps keep your energy steady because it's really not about giving up comfort. It's about layering in balance so you can enjoy the season and feel good in it.
All right. Let's get everyone involved. Which one of these challenges resonates with you most right now? Less daylight, a busy schedule, or comfort mode? Pop it in the chat, and that'll help you pick your first strategy.
Chris, how about you? Which one's the toughest for you?
The less daylight, absolutely. I
Yeah.
just, I do want to just hibernate. This at that time of the year is really hard for me. So it's like, okay, it's already dark at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. I'm just gonna go sit on the couch, turn on the television, cuddle with the dogs. It's hard for me to get out moving later in the day. So I need to start bumping stuff up in my day.
Okay. That's a good idea, right? Because we can't use it as an excuse. It's just really being aware. And I see there's several less daylights and the busy schedule, of course, right? And that's probably where mine goes with the busy schedule. Things I thought I was busy before, but now things just seem to be ramped up a little bit. And then with the holidays coming, so but I love seeing the responses. So thanks so much for sharing. And here's the important thing: identifying the challenge. It's really just step one. The magic comes when we shift into the solutions. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about 3 simple strategies that can help you stay active and energized this fall, no matter which challenge is your biggest hurdle.
Exactly. And the good news is these strategies are practical, doable, and designed to fit into your real life. So let's dive into the first one.
All right. So strategy 1 is to keep moving simple. And I love our little lady here. She does her lovely stretches because we're going to do something similar to that. But for years, I thought that if I couldn't make it to the gym, it didn't count. And that's the all or nothing mindset. And that can really keep you stuck. So once, you shift, right, and you start valuing short walks, stretches, or even 10-minute routine, everything can change. And those small actions really started to help keep me consistent.
Yeah, I had the same realization. I started sneaking in movement, calf raises while I'm brushing my teeth, wall push-ups between Zoom calls and appointments, squats while I wait for the microwave. It didn't feel like exercise, but it does start to add up fast.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I used to, when my coffee was brewing, do push-ups off the counter. That
That's
was fun.
perfect.
Habit stacking, right? So we're going to try something together. So this is, we're just going to show you how simple this can be. So unless you're driving, I'm going to ask you to please stand up. All right, everybody on your feet. I see you guys sitting up, up, up. Oh, and Colleen goes off picture. Ah, nice. All right. So unless you're driving, if you can stand up, we're gonna do 5 chair squats. So if you have a chair behind you, you're just gonna sit down and we're gonna stand back up. But if you don't have a chair like me, because I have a standing desk, we're just gonna kind of squat. All right. So we're gonna do this 5 times. Here we go. 1, down and up, and 2, down. Feel the burn. I want you to feel those quads. This is number 3. Down and up.
Ooh, I'm
Number
feeling that.
4. Yeah, good. One more. 5. All right, perfect. Good job.
Right. That's a perfect example. And I can definitely feel that. It's amazing. 5 squats. So just imagine if you do that 20 times during the day, you've got a lot of squats.
Right.
That's movement. It's functional. It took less than 30 seconds, probably about 15, and your body's already feeling it.
Exactly. And science shows that even these tiny bursts like this can improve your blood sugar, your circulation, and your energy. Every bit counts.
Yeah, one of our clients started really small. He started with 2 minutes of movement during every commercial while watching football, whether it was squats or calf raises or stretches. That's it. That's all he did. He had more energy, he slept better, he felt stronger, and he wasn't getting winded from everyday activities like walking up the stairs or walking out to his car. And all of that came from one tiny habit that he stuck with.
It's amazing at how quickly these things can build up. So, what's one small movement that you could add tomorrow? Maybe it's parking further away, right? From the office, from a store. Maybe it's stretching before you go to bed. It could be walking during a call. One of the things that I want to get is one of those, I think they're called a walking pad. I have a standing desk. I might as well start walking, right? Let me get some extra
Yeah,
exercise
that's true.
in.
Yeah.
So, if somebody wants to share in the chat, you might inspire someone else. So I see here, Joanne does 5 squats every time she's in the bathroom washing her hands. That's fabulous.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That stands on 1 foot while cooking. Good. That's something to try, right? I could definitely
Yeah.
stand on 1 foot while at my desk. I'm standing on 1 foot now, and you don't even know.
Oh, Colleen, push-ups off the counter at work. Nice.
Awesome.
Stretching before going to bed. These are all great ideas.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, starting small gets you moving. But the next challenge is keep it going. That's where our second strategy comes in because consistency matters way more than extremes.
Yes. Too often people think that they need to go all in, right? I need a new gym plan. I need new gear. I need strict routines. But what usually happens? Burnout. So let's talk about why consistency beats extremes.
Yeah, I've done that. I signed up for a boot camp program. I lasted 2 weeks, maybe not even that long. My body was exhausted. I dreaded it and I quit. Extremes don't build habits, they build burnout.
Exactly. And it's interesting. Research shows that frequency matters more than intensity. The American Heart Association notes that activities in this 10-minute bout, and actually when they're done consistently, they deliver the same health benefits as longer workouts. That's pretty amazing, right? So it's about showing up regularly, not perfectly.
I love that. All right, let's practice something small and consistent. All right, stand up again. Kate's already standing.
Unless you're driving.
Yes, that would be bad.
Yes.
All right, push up on your toes and do 10 calf raises. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm feeling that already. 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's it. Easy, right?
Fabulous.
Imagine doing that while brushing your teeth.
Yeah, you can do that, or as Joanne, she does her squats while she's washing her face or washing her hands. So
Yeah.
we do all kinds of exercises in the bathroom. Yay! And that's consistency, right? Small actions repeated often, they build habits that last. Even those micro movements like that, they really make a difference.
Okay. In the chat, type, are you more of an all-in person or a slow and steady person? There's no wrong answer. It'll just be fun to see where everyone's at. Beth is
Chris,
all
what are you? All or nothing, slow and steady. Interesting, right? Get the mix. Chris,
all
how
in.
about you?
I am all in. I just want to, I'm going to get up every morning at 7 o'clock. I'm going to exercise for 45 minutes and I'm going to do this and that and that and that. And it lasts about 2 days.
Okay.
What about
So,
you?
you know, well, um, part of me said when I decide I'm going to do something, I'm all in. But I think what I've learned is, something that Dr. A teaches us, right? That's what can you do on your worst day? So, Chris, you say that you're all in, you're going to get up, you're going to do 45 minutes working out, and then you get up and you're not feeling it. What's something, instead of doing that, can you do something that's like on your worst day, I feel like crap. Can you do something?
I was just thinking, we go down the basement or to the garage and work out. I mean, I could walk down the stairs and walk back up, and that's more than I was doing, or, just start with these squats and stuff. But I think, just making that movement of down the stairs, up the stairs when I want to do absolutely nothing, that's more than I'd be doing just sitting on my butt.
So that's great, right? So instead of, yeah, if your goal is to, go down and work out for 45 minutes, 3 or 5 days a week, and you get up and you go, it ain't happening. If, you know, even on your worst day, can you walk down the steps, back up, and then say, you know what, I showed up. Would that work?
Yeah, I think that's exactly. And then who knows, when I get down there, I may think, oh, I feel a little bit better than I thought I did. So maybe I go back down the stairs and I work out for a little bit.
That's great. Good. And I think that's the important thing that we want to share, right? It's not that all or nothing is better or worse, but we do want to make sure that it can be realistic over time, right? So we've talked about keeping it simple and staying consistent, but here's the key. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stick with it. Which brings us to our third strategy, which is make movement fun and connect it to the season that you're in, right? And if you dread it, you're not going to stick with it, right? But if you enjoy it, you look forward to it. And I just want to point out that, we are talking about the season that we're in, which is fall, but you also may be in a season of life, right? So, and sometimes that looks different for everyone. So that's the key. Try to find something that you can enjoy in the season that you're in.
Yeah, I used to force workouts that I hated. And of course, I quit or just didn't go. But then I found some things I enjoyed. We found this amazing park in Louisville, not too far from our house. And we just go there and walk around, take the dogs and walk. We found some other places, hike, just dancing, dancing around the house. No one's watching, right?
That's
And
right.
just staying consistent with that, just getting outside. I think fun is a secret ingredient.
I agree. In Florida, we don't get the crisp fall leaves, but we do get some relief from the summer heat. So for me, that makes evening walks so much more enjoyable. I love being able to head outside without that sweltering humidity of summer, whether it's, just walking around the neighborhood or we get to walk up to the beach, right? It's really just being about outside in that fresh air. So the seasonal shift makes movement for me feel easier. And sometimes, it's just really something that I actually look forward to.
And that's the key, finding what feels good in your own season and your own environment. For some people, it's raking leaves or hiking on cooler weekends. For others, it's family walks after dinner or even dancing in the living room. When it fits your lifestyle and the season you're in, movement doesn't feel like a chore, it feels like living.
All right. So we're going to do something fun right now. We are going to do a quick 10-second dance break. 10 seconds. And if you're watching, stand up again, right? Notice we're getting some exercise. You can put on your favorite song later and move. But right now, Chris, ready? Wait, I should start my timer. I guess I could use my fingers, but I think a timer sounds better. It's because Lord knows we wouldn't want someone to dance extra. Ready? Dance. We're dancing. Da, da. Look at the robots and the girl on the slide.
I look
Look at
down.
this. And it's 10. How quick is that?
Woo.
10 seconds. Fabulous. Thanks for
Yeah.
participating, ladies and gentlemen.
That's movement, and it doesn't care what you look like. I kind of look like robot guy, and that's okay.
Oh my God.
One thing that we do is while we're cooking, we turn on the music and we just dance. We dance around the kitchen, we dance with the dogs. We don't care what we look like, so we're just getting in our movement.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And once again, your body doesn't care if it's a gym workout or if it's dancing in the kitchen, right? All it knows is that you're moving. So, I mean, so let's share, right? What's a fun way that you like to move? Dancing, biking, chasing the dog, right? We just came up with several different things. So why don't you share what works for you? Rowing, fabulous.
Wow, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, we got some dancing, walking in the neighborhood. Nice. Walking next to the water.
Oh, yes. That's a good one, Tracy.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So let's recap. Tonight we talked about some of the challenges, less daylight, busy schedules, and comfort mode. Then we talked about some strategies. Keep your movement simple, focus on consistency. Well, you don't need extremes, and make it fun and seasonal.
So your next step is to choose one of these strategies and put it into action tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect time and just start with one small choice. And before we sign off, right, as we're wrapping up here, we want to leave you with something extra. We've created a simple 15-day movement challenge that you can use, really putting tonight's strategies into action. It's full of some short, fun activities, things like quick squats, mini walks, even dance breaks that make consistency easier. So you're going to get this tomorrow in a follow-up email along with tonight's replay. As you can see, it starts, that actually is the date for tomorrow. So it'll give you some suggestions. You can print it, post it, keep it handy, use it as really that little nudge to move each day. And then there's also 2 other sheets that it comes with. Susie, if you want to advance that, this is my wins, mini wins to celebrate. And then there's one more page that will be attached with it, which is how you felt each week. So
Yeah.
we are going to send that out.
That is awesome. And think of this as your bonus toolkit. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about building small wins one day at a time.
That's right.
And don't forget,
And yep.
oops, sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was excited about it. I was like, wait, next month.
No, I love all the little things. Don't forget, our next webinar is October 16th, Immune Boost, Staying Healthy During Cold and Flu Season. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, and that you get Chris and I again. Woo, on our monthly wellness webinar. So, but really thank you for being here with us tonight. Remember, movement doesn't have to be perfect. It just really needs to be consistent, simple, and enjoyable. And every small choice adds up.
Exactly. Here's to a healthy fall, and good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.